Hello, it's Sonia here with the Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today is Wednesday, and that means it's the Stitch of the Week. So we haven't had a Stitch of the Week for a while. I took a little bit of a break because of the holidays, and I was trying to do a series, and Christmas just kind of kicked me in the butt a little bit. It was our first one since my husband passed, and I just kind of, lost it. It was just too overwhelming for me. Everything. I was trying to do too much and not processing my grief, and it just wasn't a good combination. So I took a break, but I'm back now. And also right after Christmas, literally right after Christmas, we all got COVID. So the gift we didn't want, but we're doing fine, thank goodness. We were really fortunate. And so now we're all back on the mend, and I'm trying to get back to some regular life here. And I do really miss uploading, so we are going to get back on that horse and do some more Stitch of the Weeks. So for today's stitch, I am using an eye hook or a 5.5mm hook. I have either worsted weight or, I don't know, it's kind of in between worsted weight and decate weight yarn, so 3.5 instead of number 4. It's probably labeled number 4, but it feels a little bit lighter weight. I am not sure what brand of yarn this is because the label, my labels tend to disappear on me. I don't know why. They just do. But we are going to be doing a cluster stitch. I love a cluster stitch, and this is a really large cluster stitch. I guess I'm going to call it the large cluster stitch. And I think it's a really nice stitch pattern. It will be a bit of a yarn eater, so if you have a real nice big skein of yarn, it would be a really good stitch for that. I think it would look really nice in blankets, scarves. There's a lot of projects that it would be suitable for. Alright, so to get started with this stitch, what you're going to need to do is chain a multiple of 8 plus 2. So why don't we chain 18, because 8 times 2 is 16, and then you add 2 more, and it's 18. Alright, so we have our 18 chains. So what you're going to want to do is in your second chain from your hook, you're going to work a single crochet. And now we are going to skip 3 chains. So 1, 2, 3. And then our next chain, we're going to work a really large cluster. And we're going to work 9 double crochet in that next chain. So now you can see why I say it could be a bit of a yarn eater, but it just looks really pretty though. I think it's a really nice cluster stitch. There's just so many different ones, or a shell stitch. It's not cluster, it's a shell stitch. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm a little rusty here with my stitches. I took too long of a break, I guess. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So now we have our 9 double crochet. So then what you want to do is we're going to skip 3 chains again. So 1, 2, 3, and you might just need to kind of push this guy back because we fit so many double crochet in that one chain, and it kind of likes to cover up the one. So just kind of slide it back, and then 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to single crochet in the next one there. And we are going to skip 3 again. So 1, 2, 3, and then work 9 double crochet again. Okay, so we've got our 9 double crochet, and we're already at the end of our row. So depending on how long your chain is, what you would do is you would skip 3 and then work a single crochet in the next one. But I'm already at the end of my row, and then you would skip 3 again, then work your very large shell stitch, not cluster, shell, and then skip 3 again, work your single crochet. So you're alternating your shell stitch, single crochet, shell stitch, and then until you get to your last 4 chains, and then your very last stitch will be a single crochet. So pretty easy, just creates a nice big shell. So there we go, and then our row 1 is complete. And now let's get ready for row 2. So row 2, you're going to chain 3 and turn your work. And focus, there we go. So this chain 3 is going to count as a stitch, it will count as a double crochet, and then we are going to work another double crochet right in that same stitch. And now we are going to chain 2, and we want to skip 4 double crochet, and then we will single crochet in the next one. So basically what you're doing is you're just going to single crochet in the center stitch. So stitch number 5 would be the center one. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then stitch 5 we will work our single crochet, and then you're going to chain 2, and then of course you're going to skip these next 4, but a really easy way to remember is you're just jumping right to that next single crochet, and in that next single crochet we are going to work a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So it's actually a small V stitch. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet right in that single crochet, and then we are going to chain 2, and you will skip 4 double crochet and then work in the next one, which is your center stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then work your single crochet there, and we will chain 2. So now I am already at the end of my row, but if your chain was longer, you would jump right to your next single crochet and work your V stitch, your double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 2, and then single crochet in the center stitch, and you would just do that however long your chain was. But I'm already at the end of my row. So at the end of my row, in your very last stitch, your very last single crochet, you are going to work 2 double crochet. And keep your hook in the loop. Always a good idea. Alright, so then my row 2 is complete. So we are going to get ready for row 3. So for row 3, you're going to chain 3, turn your work, and this chain 3 will count as a stitch, a double crochet, and we are going to work 4 double crochet right in this same stitch right here. So we're going to be creating a half shell. So altogether, in counting your chain 3, you will have a total of 5 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there we go, there's our half shell. And now we are going to skip this chain 2 space, and we're just going to single crochet right on top of that next single crochet. And now we are going to work in our V stitch. We're going to work in this chain 1 space, so you're going to work your shell, your 9 double crochet shell right in that stitch there, or that chain 1 space. So row 1 is our setup row, and then row 2, and then we have a couple more rows, will be the repeat. Okay, so now we are going to skip this next chain 2 space, and you're going to single crochet right on top of that guy. Now again, I'm already getting to the end of my row, but if your chain was longer, then you would work your 9 double crochet shell in the next chain 1 space that you had. Then you would single crochet right in your next single crochet, but I'm already at the end of my row. I'm working a smaller swatch here. So at the end, once you get to the end of your row, you're going to work 5 double crochet, so a half shell on top of this chain 3 to complete your row. Alright, so we've worked our 5 double crochet, so then row 3 is complete. Okay, so let's get ready for row 4. So row 4, you'll learn a chain 1, turn your work, and we're going to single crochet right in that same stitch for row 4 here. And now we are going to chain 2, and we're just going to jump right into the next single crochet. So don't worry about this shell, and you're going to work that V stitch again. So the double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and we are going to chain 2, and now we are going to work in that center stitch of the shell. So you're going to skip 4 double crochet and then single crochet in the next one, and we are going to chain 2 again, and then we're going to jump right to that single crochet and work that double crochet, chain 1, double crochet through the little V stitch, and then chain 2, and now I'm already at the end of my row. So if you had a larger chain, you would work the single crochet in the center part of your shell, and then you would chain 2 again, work your V stitch in the next single crochet. But again, I'm at the end of my row, so we are just going to work a single crochet in the very last stitch, which is that chain 3, which counts as a stitch. We're working our single crochet, and then row 4 is complete. So now we're going to get ready for row 5. So to start row 5, we will chain 1 and turn our work, and we're going to single crochet right in the same stitch here. And now we are going to work our shell, our 9 double crochet shell in that chain 1 space. Okay, so I've got my 9 double crochet, and we are just going to single crochet on top of the last single crochet there, and we are going to work our 9 double crochet shell in the chain 1 space of our V stitch here. Alright, so we've got our 9 double crochet, and then again I'm already at the end of my row, so I'm going to single crochet on top of that last single crochet. But again, if your swatch was larger, then you would single crochet in the next single crochet, work your 9 double crochet shell in that chain 1 space, just keep going across for row 5. So what you want to do to continue with this stitch pattern is you're going to repeat rows 2 through 5 for however long you would want your swatch. And the nice one with this one, it's fairly reversible. I mean, this certainly is definitely the right side, but it's if you wanted to use it for a scarf, it wouldn't look too terrible on the other side there. So I'm going to work a few more rows, and so you can see a little bit larger, and I will meet you back. Alright, so I worked one more repeat of rows 2 through 5, and then I did end on a row 2. So I figured, like, if you wanted to use this stitch pattern, let's say if you were making a blanket, you definitely want to end on a straighter edge. Now if you were making a shawl, and you would want to have it down, I mean, you could certainly end on the row 5 with the beautiful shells, and that would give you like a really nice curved edges there, and then you could add a border or whatever you wanted to do. It just depends on what you're making. But if you did want to make a blanket, then I suggest ending on a row 2, because then you can easily, get yourself set up for a border. But I hope you enjoyed this Stitch of the Week, and I thank you so much for watching.